How's it going, everyone? So I have managed to fix my tank. There was a massive issue going on, and if you've been following me, you know that I had a ammonia spike crash. So I just want to give a quick rundown of basically what happened and how I have now fixed it and everything is okay. So what happened first of all? Well, I came home one day and I had a lot of fish floating, basically dead. Nobody wants that. First of all, I think what you need to do is when you see something like this is, the first thing is to have a water kit, because that is essential. Test your water, and when I tested the ammonia, it was through the roof. So what I did next was I did a 80% water change, so that hopefully to try and bring the ammonia down. I did this regularly for about 3 or 4 days, big massive water changes, and what I was doing then was testing the ammonia levels after treating my water as you do any tap water with a tap water conditioner. But for some reason my ammonia levels were still showing high all the time. So I continued doing water changes on a regular basis every day. And tested every day. The ammonia part of my test kit, it's been used quite a bit while sorting this out. So the other thing was that my regular dechlorinator I use is API Stress Coat Plus, and they didn't have any, but as I've said before, I had this one which is API Aqua Essential, and this, funny enough, has an ammonia detoxifier. And I went into a bit of a reading session on what that meant, and I have another video where I explain more about what this and other products such as Seachem Prime will do to your ammonia, in the fact that it converts ammonia to ammonium, which is not harmful to your fish, but depending on your water parameters, it can last in that ammonium safe state for 24 hours, 72 depends, 48 depends on really the product itself. So yeah, anyway, back to what I was doing. So weekly I did daily water changes, but then I went down and found out about how these detoxifiers make your tank safe, but at the same time when I was testing the ammonia, it was still showing up as quite high ammonia levels. But then I read that even ammonia and ammonium, your water test kit can't differentiate between the two. So happy that the fish were all swimming around. That's your first obviously thing that is to check your health in your aquarium, is your fish, your shrimp, whatever in there. If it all seems to be happy, there was no gas spin, anything like that. So I knew I had it stable. So for after the week of doing the regular water changes, I then was quite confident that the product I was using to detoxify the ammonia, if I kept adding that daily without water changing, then I would be okay to do a weekly water change. I did, however, check the ammonia from time to time, but like I said, because both of them actually show up on the test, you can't really tell anymore. So I think the risk paid off in this case. The other thing then is, what I made sure to do was I used a beneficial bacteria. Now I did squeeze a bit out from a sponge from an already cycled tank, so to put some of the bacteria back in. But then what I did use is, you can use an added, like some call it filter quick start. I mean, there's loads of different products. I did have something by Interpet which was called Fast Filter Start. NT Labs also do one called Satus, and also I did have another one which was a Fluval one. I can't remember what the name of it was, but that is basically a beneficial bacteria. The reason why I did that as well is because I think the whole crash happened due to the fact that I've been a bit too enthusiastic with my cleaning. I cleaned a lot of and disturbed a lot of the gravel, so that even the gravel, see, that will house beneficial bacteria, and I did clean the filter a bit too much as well. So that's what caused my crash anyway. But yeah, going back to it, so what I did, first stage is don't panic, remove any dead fish you can, which is quite hard when you've got a planted environment. And then what I did was, after a week's worth of daily water changes, I kept using a product like API, this Aqua Essential. I think there's one called Ammonia Lock as well, or you could use, like I said, anything like Seachem Prime or any of its other products. So yeah, I kept testing the water as normal, carried on doing my weekly water changes, and now everything is now back down to now is how it should be. All, as you can see, all the fish, all are happy, all the murkiness out of the water's gone as well, where it's gone through its cycle. And in a nutshell, it's kind of like starting a new tank again, because it had to go through the whole nitrogen cycle, converting ammonia into nitrite, into nitrate. As one important thing that you really should learn if you're new to this hobby is the nitrogen cycle, and there's loads of great videos out there, to be honest with you, that can explain all that for you. But anyway, yeah, that's my update. Everything is all good and back to normal. This is what I did to fix it. Maybe it can help you in the future, but please bear in mind everyone's tank and everyone's environment is different.